So putting a block kit on your rear of your truck, of your mid-sized truck, we're going to explain why that's actually a good option. It's a very cheap option, and why you don't really lose any suspension travel over it, and you'll actually gain 2 inches of extra travel. So we're going to show you that right now and how that's possible. So we jacked this side of the truck up to show full length articulation. This is a truck that I do have a 2-inch block kit on the rear, and we're showing you what the extra length you get. Because you are putting that rear end down 2 inches lower, you are going to get 2 lower, extra inches on your articulation on the low end. One thing you do need to buy shocks that are set up for a 2 to 4 inch lift suspension. That way these shocks won't bottom out and they'll articulate the entire length. The shocks that I bought, one issue I found was the bottom boot comes undone because I'm really extending this articulation out really long. So daily driving is covering the bottom area, so it's not bothering me any. And when I go off-roading, it could go higher, but in the case that it goes higher, I'm not going to be in a mud pit, so I think it's fine. It's not. I checked the seals; they're not being damaged any, so it's not a problem for me. But as you can see, there's the block kit on it, and because of that, your wheel will go down 2 extra inches lower. And now we're going to show you. Here's a view showing the full extra 2 inches of articulation on this direction. Now we're going to show you the articulation going the other way. Basically, if we hit the bump stop, like the factory one hit the bump stop, that means that we added 2 inches this direction, and if we hit the bump stop, we are not taking anything away. We're still getting the full down pressure articulation. I know the pavement's kind of hard to show what level of articulation you're going to get, so I wanted to show you this picture of the truck actually being an off-road situation where you can really see how much this truck articulates with that 2-inch block kit. I mean, it's pretty extreme. Okay, so I jacked this side up until the other side's almost off the ground, but I'm running out of bottle jack. I actually ran this all the way up, ran another bottle jack under here, and then put this bottle jack under here again with boards under it and raised it up again, and I'm running out of space. So this is the limit I'm going because it's a little nervous right now. This tire is well over a foot off the ground, but I'll show you the spacer, the bump stop. So there's the bump stop, and it is right near the top of the frame, so it's almost going to hit the bump stop right now. And to show there's actually a little more articulation, I'm going to shake the bed up and down so you can see there's still some play in it. So you can see there's still, I mean, I can even get more in there, but that's about an inch I'm shaking it up and down. So it's pretty much hitting the bump stop at this level of articulation. I can get a little bit more out of it, maybe, like I said, a couple inch and a half. Then it would be really mashing on that bump stop. But you can see I do have the play for it. So in a case where that front tire was jacked up on a massive articulation, and the rear right one is being pushed up, we would definitely be able to get that limit. So you can definitely see a block kit in the rear. You're not limiting your suspension by doing this. I also wanted to make one more note. Because you're not putting a leaf spring kit on the backs of these, so you're not adding a leaf to get that extra 2 inches. And by the way, everybody that's put those 2-inch leaf kits that are supposed to raise it up 2 inches, they're seeing 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches at the most. So they're not even getting the full height that they paid for. Where a block kit, it's 2 inches tall. You can't not get 2 inches of height out of a 2-inch block kit, because literally it's 2 inches tall. So you get what you pay for with a block kit. And like I said, because you're not adding a leaf, your suspension isn't getting stiffer. It's the same soft suspension that the factory was, and because it's still soft, you get this crush, this upward articulation, because you're not stiffening the suspension, you're keeping it soft. So that's why a block kit in the rear, there's nothing wrong with it. It works. My suggestion on the Tacoma, because this is just me, I don't want to go extreme, is to do the 2-inch block kit on the rear, because if you go more, you now have to worry about the angles of your drive shaft being too extreme. And if you're doing a daily driver, 2 inches is plenty for that. These are 32-inch tires on here, so they work just fine. And you can see, if I needed to, I could put bigger tires on here, so they fit in the back. The front, of course, that's a different story, but that's a different video too. So yes, you can put a block kit on here, get full articulation. You gain 2 inches of articulation, and it doesn't hurt a thing. It actually helps. So if you like what you're seeing here, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next episode.